What if you actually won? What if you actually committed to the man that you know yourself to be? What if you actually stopped sabotaging yourself? What if you actually did your best? Most of the time, as ambitious men, we think that we need more discipline. We think we need more systems. We think we need more structure. We look to the external world for more answers, right? But the truth of the matter is, everything starts within. You don't lack competence, intelligence. You lack finality. You lack commitment. And under all of those words, the reason that you continue to play small in life is because you're afraid of the responsibility. So you keep yourself in half in and half out. And as the scripture says, a double minded man is unstable in all his ways. See, a part of you does want to win, but another part of you is scared. Another part of you wants to win in a different way. Another part of you wants something else. So, what kind of results do you think you're going to produce in your life? Half-assed results, because you're a half-assed man, right? And the moment that we realize this and truly commit to being the best versions of ourselves, that is the day we actually begin to see life responding to us rather than us reacting to life. You see, we're ambitious. We're already different than the average man, but we use wealth and material to define us. And that's the exact same way that the average man thinks, right? The truth of the matter is, we suppress our own power. We hold ourselves back because we're afraid of the responsibility of actually committing all the way. Because when we actually commit, we feel suffocated. We feel like we're losing control. And that's a massive hit to our ego. Because when you're competent, you want to have control because a part of you really does trust himself, but another part of you doesn't trust his own leadership. Usually, like when we prevent ourselves from committing to the best version of ourselves that we know ourselves to be, it's because we're afraid of falling short. We're afraid that if we become fully Him, we're still gonna fail. See, and that's if you still live with the mentality that failure is actually a thing. When you still see failure as this thing that exists, of course you're never gonna commit. Of course. Because you've taught your body, you've taught your nervous system that failing is horrible, that it's shameful. And as in the scriptures, Adam and Eve, they hid and they were ashamed. So, what does shame do? It hides and it deteriorates you slowly, internally. It destroys you until it gets exposed. When we live double minded, when we live as who we are now versus who we know ourselves to be, we're constantly going to be restless. We're constantly going to be fighting and shaming ourselves because we know we're not doing our best. See, and you allow yourself to hesitate, to negotiate, to feel as you're not the man because you don't have the status or the power to back that up. But that's not true. Power comes from within. It comes from the Most High. The Most High already gave us the blueprint to succeed in this life. He already gave us the power, which is why you feel it inside of you. You just haven't learned how to extract it yet. And the way you extract this power that you know you have is by committing, showing the Most High that you're willing to go all the way on one path. There is no being lukewarm. You're either hot or you're cold, but choose. And it's important that we choose to be the best versions of ourselves daily. Because when we do it daily, then we start to show up as the best versions of ourselves consistently. See, a lot of us start at the bottom of the mountain trying to show up as the best versions of ourselves and putting this immense amount of pressure on ourselves. But the truth is, you haven't played this game long enough to unlock him. You're trying to lock level 100. You're trying to get a legendary Pokemon when you haven't even gained the badges that you need in this life to access that level of power. And when you can't access that level despite having it, you crash out. You breed shame. You breed your own negativity. And it frustrates you because you are someone who has tasted success, has kept his word to himself, but you always burn out and crash because you live with destiny pressure. And destiny pressure is never truly living up to who you know yourself to be. It's a constant choice. There is no secrets. There is no moment of arrival. You have multiple moment of arrivals throughout your life. But the first step is committing. Commitment shows faith. You could say you know you're this, you know you're that, but if your faith and your actions don't line up, faith without works is dead. Yeah, you have the belief in yourself. Show me. Show the world. Show yourself that it's true. You know when you're half-assing shit. You know when you're capable of more. So when you ask yourself, why do I hesitate to lead? Why do I play small when it comes to the woman? Why can I not overcome this barrier in my business? Why am I stuck at a certain money threshold? You lack finality. You lack decisiveness. And honestly, you don't trust yourself the way you think you do. So it's much easier to stay stuck because staying stuck means you're still figuring it out. You figuring it out means you're putting work towards it, but you don't really believe in it. So you feel productive, but you're not actually productive, and you know you're bullshitting. And now you just bred all this confusion in yourself. Choose. Choose to be the best version of yourself. Choose finality. There's no negotiation. There's no hesitation. There's no secrets. If you want to be successful in this life, pray to the Most High that He make you a man who can actually handle success. Show Him you can actually handle success by putting yourself in situations where you're going to handle success. But it starts with you seeing yourself as successful when you keep your word to yourself daily. That's how you build your self-trust. That's how you build your self-respect. That's how you finally become the man who can handle everything he wants in his life. You don't lack ambition. You don't lack discipline. You don't lack consistency. Fuck, you don't even lack the fucking frameworks. You lack finality. And until you allow yourself to sit with your fears in uncertainty, when you finally allow yourself, then you'll finally overcome. Then you'll see your life actually moving. But until then, you'll continue to be small in your life. You'll continue to hesitate, doubt your leadership, doubt your own power as a man. Hey, at the end of the day, you choose. You can take this advice from this video, or you could continue to play small in your life. It's your choice. Peace.